What's up, everybody? My name's Chris. This is my kitchen, and you're watching Chris's Kitchen Experiments. And today we're doing a very special Valentine's Day episode where I give you a secret recipe on what helped me land my beautiful Valentine errand. All right, obviously, first, gotta get candles. Second, gotta get the flowers. And then, of course, don't forget the gift and the card. And then to set the ambiance right, we're gonna get a little music. Starting out with a little Jackie Gleason music for lovers only. Then we'll move into a little Isaac Hayes. And then last but not least, how to strip, nope, that's the wrong one, sorry. Today, we're gonna make a gnocchi in a brie cream sauce. And then on the side, we're gonna do a roasted asparagus topped with an over easy egg and a little pecorino romano cheese. We're gonna start with the asparagus because the gnocchi takes next to no time to cook. All right. To make the roasted asparagus, all you're gonna need is your asparagus, some olive oil, a little minced garlic, and some kosher salt. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna lop off the hard ends of the asparagus, toss it in with the salt and garlic, and then we're going to roast it in the oven at 425. When the moon hits your eyes like a big pizza pie, that's amore. What you see back at home, Napoli, that's amore. When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signore. After you finish tossing the asparagus and the olive oil, the garlic, and the salt, you're just gonna lay it out onto a tray and pop it into the oven. Now, I like to cook these until they are just super, super soft. But that's completely up to your taste. If you want them a little bit al dente, you can leave them in for a little bit less time. So I've seen gnocchi done a lot of different ways. Typically, there's a sage butter sauce that you do, or a pesto. When we were in Prague, we even saw it with sauerkraut and bacon. I've never really seen it done in a cream sauce. And honestly, I kind of invented this before I knew what gnocchi was and how it was used. So it turned out well, but to make this one, you're gonna need a whole stick of butter. We've got a half a cup of shallots. We've got 8 cloves of garlic, got that minced up. We've got about a 1/4 pound of the brie, 5 ounces of goat cheese, and then we're gonna put salt. You got about 3 tablespoons of white pepper, and then we'll also do some garlic powder to kind of make it really thick. Now, I've done this with a roux, and I didn't mind it, but Aaron likes it better this way, so that's how we're doing it today, because it's Valentine's Day. First thing you're gonna do is heat up your butter. Once your butter starts to melt, you're gonna add your shallots, your garlic, and a little bit of kosher salt. After a few minutes of having your butter getting melted and kind of bubbling like that, you're going to want to turn your heat down. and start with your milk. Now I use 2% in this, and that's about 1.5 cups to start with. Let that get warm, stir it up, and this is when you're gonna add your brie cheese. All right, so as I'm watching the brie start to melt, I added another 1.5 cups of the milk, and then we're gonna add in the goat cheese. Now, you might be wondering, Chris, why do you put in 1.5 cups of milk and then the brie and then another 1.5 cups of milk and then the goat cheese? And the answer is, I'm not really sure. This is just the way, without making a roux, that I found that this sauce holds together the best. As the brie and the goat cheese melts, you're gonna get this nice frothiness in it, and that's your cue to add the ground white pepper, some pecorino romano, and again, you're going to want to fold this in slowly so it does get to the thickness that you want. And then we're going to add just a little bit of the garlic powder, and you can see it's starting to bubble. That's when you know you need to stir it all up. So as all that cheese is melted and get mixed in, this is where the dish becomes even less traditional than it ever was. Because I invented this dish when I was down in the Dominican, I used brown cane sugar, and we've got about 1 cup of that we put in there. And this dish is incredibly rich, very sweet, but the high amount of the pepper gives it a little bit of the spiciness, a little bit of the garlic gives it a lot of the bite. And so we're gonna let that cook down for a little bit more. As you can see, the brown sugar, as this cooks down, turns the coloring of this sauce into brown. It's gotten a little bit thicker. You can see that it's almost like a gravy. Just about done. We're just going to get those last little bits of cheese good and melted. So once you got your water boiling, you're going to add your gnocchi, and that's going to cook really quickly. So it's only going to be in there for about 1 minute, maybe 2, because we want it partially kind of done, because we're going to finish it off in our sauce. The key when you're cooking gnocchi is you want to make sure you stir so it doesn't stick. So these have been in there about a minute and a half, and somehow I decided to do this left-handed and thought that would be a good idea, but you can see it. It's actually looking pretty soft. See, when it squeezes like that, that's like perfect. So once we've strained it, we actually want to put the gnocchi into the sauce. There's going to be some of that. The potato that's in the gnocchi is going to thicken that up and make that sauce a little bit thicker. And obviously, sorry I didn't have my wooden spoon. But obviously you're going to want to stir it. And by now we don't have any heat on this, but it's still hot, so it's still cooking down. And that's about it. It's about ready to serve. I'm gonna plate it up and show you how the asparagus turned out, and then I'm gonna go have a wonderful romantic evening with my beautiful Erin. And there we are. So we've got the gnocchi in our brie, not camembert, our brie sauce. I like to use camembert, but Erin loves the brie. And then, as you can see, we've got our roasted asparagus, our over easy egg that we break, top it with a little pecorino romano, and that's what we're gonna eat tonight. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all.